Hello and welcome to the Mazars Financial Services Chat Room. I am Barry Goodman, an audit partner at Mazars in the USA. The topic of today is digital assets. And as we know, the headlines are all about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the like. And today I'm joined by Jessica Raybeck, who is the Director of Institutional Sales at BlockFi. BlockFi is one of the fastest growing companies in the digital asset ecosystem. BlockFi enables you to use your crypto assets as collateral and receive US dollars and other fiat currencies to your bank account, and recently went through a round of funding that values the company over $3 billion. So a multi-billion-dollar valuation. This is exciting, and we're going to learn about BlockFi today and more about cryptocurrencies and digital assets. And I've been viewing BlockFi from afar from a while, and I view it as a kind of a modern version of the kind of stock loan business, but it's much more than that. So Jessica, welcome, and thank you for being here today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Barry. I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah, so the little bit about Jessica's background, I'm going to ask her to dive into it more. She joined BlockFi to help launch the institutional desk. I'm stealing your thunder. In 2019 from Nomura, and you worked at Citigroup before that. So just give us a flavor before we dive into the intricacies of BlockFi and digital assets, about yourself, about your tradition about your path from traditional banking into the digital asset ecosystem.
Great. So at both firms, I really did similar roles with a different focus. So both firms, I was client facilitation. So I helped our tier one institutional clients with whatever they needed, whether that was launching a new fund with a very short runway to launch date, or it was regulation. So at Citigroup, it was during the days, not to age myself here, but during the days of Dodd-Frank and Amir, I had to help our tier one clients adhere to all of the requirements so there was no disruption to business. At Nomura, which was a little bit past that, the focus was really on helping our Japanese clients get access to US instruments. So the key theme there was always flexibility and have to kind of deal with whatever it is that our clients needed. So through that, I really learned a lot about process, the way to think about things, how different teams work together. Sometimes there could be a margin requirement, which is separate from what the trading desk trying to execute. I think while I was at Nomura, who is really fintech focused, I really had the ability to start exploring the fintech side of the world. Myself, I've personally owned Bitcoin for a very long time. I wish I would have bought more, 7 or 8 years ago when I bought my first Bitcoin. But once you own something, you tend to follow the market. So as I was really going down the rabbit hole of fintech, the use cases for distributed ledger technology, I really found this love of digital assets, and I realized how powerful this is going to be in traditional finance. I made the leap in 2019 to BlockFi to help start the institutional team and never looked back. So I see it now as like complementary and able to still help the same client base solve the same types of problems, but in a new asset class.
Great. So I could just read the textbook type of stuff, and then we'll get into how you get institutional clients, hedge funds interested in cryptocurrency. So we say a loan from BlockFi. This is for all the listeners. That loan from BlockFi enables you to use your crypto assets as collateral and receive US dollars to your bank account. Borrowing against your cryptocurrencies enables you to receive liquidity now, but doesn't trigger a capital gains tax event depending on the use of funds. So that's interesting to a lot of our clients who don't want to sell, who are miners or who want to hold on to their cryptocurrencies that have tremendous gains, don't want to sell it, and it gives them an opportunity to utilize it and put it to work in the capital markets without selling, without triggering capital gains. So a very interesting product here. So we spoke earlier about what you how you're getting involved with this, how you're bringing along really established hedge funds, people understand things, how you're breaking it down. What are the steps to getting involved with cryptocurrency digital assets?
Great. So my primary focus now at BlockFi is on traditional funds, prop trading firms, asset managers, private equity firms. So I really focus on helping a lot of your client base get access to crypto for the first time. So I kind of think of it as really your first step is, what is crypto? Why does this exist? How's their value? But really, I think people have understood that, Bitcoin's here to stay. So I think we're past that. So now it's really, what's next? How do I get access to Bitcoin and other cryptos? So kind of break it down into 4 key considerations. First is, how do you buy it? Then where do you store it? What do you do with it? And what are the operational and post-trade considerations? So first is, how do you buy it? You can't necessarily just go open an account on any exchange and buy $250 million worth of Bitcoin. You really have to go to a really trusted execution desk that understands how to buy it slowly and appropriately, so there's minimal market impact. I think you can think about it, if you're buying that much Bitcoin, the price is going to rise, and that's really what you're trying to avoid. You want to have a lower cost basis.
Yeah, when Elon Musk starts tweeting and he's going to buy it, kind of move the market like 20% in an hour.
Yeah, so now you've got a lot more buyers because Elon Musk said he's looking to buy. So that's just how the industry works. The more buyers there are, the price goes up. So you need somebody that helps you buy it slowly, VWAP, TWAP over a certain amount of time, so there's minimal market impact. So BlockFi has a full execution desk, would be very helpful with that as well. So that's, you got to buy it. Well, then what? Where do you put it? So that is really the piece that a lot of people struggle with. So there are some really trusted qualified custodians. So BlockFi is not a qualified custodian, but we do partner with them. Gemini is really fantastic. Fidelity, I think, is one that people really trust, that brand.
The well-known brand, yeah.
Exactly. So being able to leave your Bitcoin someplace like that, but buying it through a desk like BlockFi is really appealing. So we can send it to whatever custodian or wallet address of your choosing. So there's a lot of options now in that space, which is absolutely fantastic. Some are better technology, some are better capitalization and more traditional. It's kind of choose your own adventure. There's something for everybody. We take the approach of diversification. So keeping all your assets at one place is maybe not the best strategy, but diversifying, and you can use them for different reasons. Cold storage if you want to keep them offline, or a hot wallet if you want quick access for trading activities. There's a lot of good options there. So then the next key consideration is, what do you do with it? So you own this Bitcoin, and that's great. You're sitting in potentially Fidelity, digital assets, wallet. You can borrow against it. You can work with somebody like a BlockFi. I know you went into a little bit more detail about our loan product, but that also applies to institutions, and it's much more bespoke and white glove. So you can leave your Bitcoin at Fidelity Digital Assets, put it in a tri-party account, and you can borrow against it. What you use the dollars for can really vary, whether that's hedging with the futures, which we are a liquidity provider there as well, so it can be helpful with the block execution. Or you want to buy more Bitcoin, we can help you with that also. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with your assets, or you can leave it with somebody like a BlockFi. So now that goes into kind of the most important consideration, is the operational considerations. So pricing, you really need a really solid pricing source to make sure your valuations are top notch and it's running 24/7. This is a 24/7 market. There is no end of day. So you need to make sure you have a really good pricing source. There's a lot of great options out there. There's a lot of services that offer index pricing and a lot of different things depending on what's most appropriate for your business. Another consideration is it's 24/7. So you need 24/7 support. There's fund administrators that can be helpful with that. So you can run your strategies and make sure that you're hedged even through the weekends. And then one of the most important pieces is consulting and auditing. You need a global firm that really understands the landscape. We happen to know a really great one.
I know someone who could help. I know a firm that could help in that area. And Mazars is, we're practicing in that area, auditing digital asset exchange, miners, cryptocurrency funds. It's really and the ecosystem keeps growing. There's opportunities all the time. It's really amazing.
And it's really complementary. So the fact that BlockFi and Mazars know each other, we make it very seamless for clients who want to get into the space to make sure that every piece of information is provided. BlockFi is happy to help. We work with all the service providers in the space. So we want to be a good player. We want to make this a really mature ecosystem, and we're doing our part to work with all the other players in the space.
Right. So we talked about just to give the listeners some credence, some legitimacy on who BlockFi. So BlockFi when was BlockFi founded? Where is it based mainly, and who are the investors behind it?
So BlockFi started in 2017 by Zach Prince and Fleury Marquez, who have backgrounds in lending and payments, which is kind of the perfect recipe for a company like BlockFi. We've had several rounds of funding. We have really prominent names in our cap table, but I think the most interesting was really our most recent funding round that closed a few months ago, but was announced in March, which is our Series D round of funding. We raised $350 million with an over $3 billion valuation. So we are a triple unicorn, very exciting. And we had some pretty heavy hitters in there. That round was led by Bain Capital, Tiger Global, DST, and Morgan Creek, which is Anthony Pompliano's firm. But we have other really prominent names in our investor profile as well. Valar Ventures led our first two funding rounds. We have Susquehanna, Fidelity, Acuna, a lot of really well-known household names. So BlockFi is really committed to bridging that gap between traditional finance and digital assets.
It's really great, and I would say it's slowly getting there, but I think the rate it's really happening very quickly. It's really amazing. So let me get your I wrote down here, I want your prediction how it's going to work. So we see the corporate adoption with Tesla taking Bitcoin on the balance sheet, Square, Caruso Real Estate, others. So where does BlockFi, or maybe in your opinion, where do we see it going in the next 2 years or 5 years?
We're just getting started. So if you can believe that. So you see the micro strategies and Tesla talking about adding Bitcoin to their treasury. That's just two prominent figures that are very outspoken. There are so many other corporates that are looking at similar strategies, but they fly under the radar. They don't have a big Twitter presence. They're a little bit quieter in what they're doing. I mean, we are just starting to launch into this new wave. So there are a couple different ways that you can get access that we're seeing. So through a stable coin. So stable coins are pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar, and you can start that way, where you can generate a higher yield in the digital asset space than you could with a traditional bank. So we're seeing a lot of treasuries get started there. BlockFi offers really attractive rates. If you wanted to have a conversation with us, so we can talk to you about that. But Bitcoin is one where that market cap is just so huge. I think people are getting really comfortable with adding that to the treasury as well. Mm-hmm. Ethereum is having a moment right now as well. It keeps hitting all-time highs. I feel like if I look at my phone, probably went up another couple $100. So that's really becoming a lot more mainstream, along with Bitcoin and stable coins as well. Altcoins are absolutely fantastic. I love them. I think that's like probably the most powerful and innovative story is the DeFi space. A little bit longer, sales cycle to get corporates comfortable with, Dogecoin or something like that. But it's starting. I think we're seeing a huge movement right now, and BlockFi is happy to help. There's a lot of considerations with that as well. That's a little bit different than a hedge fund who's trying to trade. A corporate really just wants steady returns.
Yeah, as the story of digital assets, digital finance, everything's going digital. So you have, forget about banking, just normal companies, they're digitizing themselves. So there'll be different products behind these coins, different values for these coins, backed by different things. So that's what I'm seeing, and that's what my colleagues are talking about. So it should be interesting. So there's lots of different topics we can talk to today. I think we're going to save tax planning for another topic. I think it's great because there's just, everyone wants to talk about that, and the government wants to know how they're going to get theirs from cryptocurrency traders, and it's very much a hot topic, and also the cybersecurity and security around storing cryptocurrency, and how your company's doing it, the experts of your company. So this is a great introduction to BlockFi and what the firm does.
Yeah, so for hedge funds, basically any financial institution, including miners, BlockFi has a full execution desk. So if you wanted to come to us for OTC, if it's large size or a little bit more bespoke, you have a specific way that you want us to help you get in or out of currencies. We hope it's always buying and not selling. you can come to us. We're also futures block liquidity providers. So hedging is very important, of course, as you can imagine with any other asset class, so we can be helpful there. And then we're exploring options and other different types of derivative instruments. But financing is absolutely our bread and butter, whether you want to borrow dollars against your crypto or borrow crypto against your dollars. We're happy to help you with anything across the spectrum. So we do partner with all different client types, and we have a bespoke offering that could fit almost any use case.
That's great. So before I conclude, the best way to continue the conversation with BlockFi, to contact you or the company, what's the best way to go about that?
Great. So you can email us at institutions@blockfi.com.
Okay, that's great. So I want to thank you. This is great. It's exciting to be part of this. I keep saying ecosystem. It's a weird word. Maybe I'll think of another word, but it's really it's just very exciting.
I think now it's an industry, not such
right. It's an industry,
ecosystem.
Right? Let's call it what it is. It's an industry that's blossoming. So it's really great. So we'll definitely continue this conversation.
That's great.
Probably in Miami, not in a few weeks. So we'll see what happens.
I can't wait to see you here. Yeah.
Right.
So anybody else that's in Miami for the Bitcoin conference, definitely let us know. Happy to meet up and tell you a little bit more about what we do and how we can help.
You see that on the online invitation. So I'm going to conclude our podcast. So this concludes the Mazars Financial Service chat room, and we hope you enjoyed it. I'm Barry Goodman, and have a great day until we chat again. Thank you.